Hello and welcome back to this Trail of Cold Steel Let's Play with me, SLJ RPG. In the last episode, we did our practical exam, we did some extra little note helping with your boy Patrick Hyarms, and we defeated Sarah in our practical exam. We learned that we, Alyssa, Elliot, Macias, Crow, and Milliam are heading to Roa. The guys are going to Orcus, but we've got some things to do. The teacher did tell us that we needed to go meet her in the academy field at 9 o'clock, but we've got some stuff we do need to grab now, so we can watch some extra scenes, so we're going to head to some stuff. So let's make our way towards there and see what kind of mistake it's got. We need to speak to Tower at the engineering building, which is this building, right? Student building, Student Union building. Where's the engineering building? Engineering building, of course. I've just realised what it is. It is the shed. I don't think of it as the engineering building. Speak to Tower. Morning, everyone. Good morning. All three together early. We were thinking about you, actually. You managed to decide what to do, of course. Didn't waste any time putting George to work. We've got some orbital instruments coming from him. Haven't decided our genre yet. Definitely something I have to take out for it. I'm interested in the Arthrit. I think it's sexy. Really sexy. Of course she is. We're of course going to where her dad is the leading reign. So it should be quite interesting. The leading noble of that area. Hope you realize how much I'm counting you to stop this reign. See what he can do. British party influence isn't quite as blatant as Ordis, but it still holds significance. The thing with the railway place is particularly bad. That's interesting. It's been planned out. We won't spoil your surprise then, of course. Technically a second year, but you have to make up your colonial classes now, of course. So, there's going to be a big surprise. I think I might guess what it is. Can we see it from here? Can we see any surprise? No, not yet. Let's speak to Patrick here. What has he decided to do? Do we have something in the field? Money to check for morning drowsiness. Either will be a catwalk, of course. So he just wants to make sure that we're okay until he can settle the score, which is fine. We can see Celine here. Give her the milk. Seems to me that if you give her... We'll take that Zarin powder because we used it in our last fight against Sarah. Very nice. And then let's head towards the academy field. Seems like we have some time. We're not going to waste any time. Let's head to the academy field. Good, good. You're all here. Oh, instructor. I wasn't expecting you to be. Sharon's, of course, here. Sharon. She's so fast. We did do some liaising. We did go speak to Toa. She's the rifle's top mate for nothing. Of course she is. Group A's guide. We didn't have much choice. Why would we need a guide? So she's the one who's decided all of our things. Everyone else is here already. Oh, we're not taking Milliam. We're taking Crow, but not Milliam. Meaning that we're taking... Who are we taking here? Oh, God, I've forgotten. I've forgotten already. We've all got all here now. 9 AM right on time. What that sound? It is what I thought it was. Like every good JRPG. Are you kidding me? Yes, we are not. It is time for... Look. What the hell is that? Here they come. We're getting an airship, motherfucker. Yeah! Airship time, bitches. We love it. We love the airship. Let's go. Oh, and it's red. It's going to be a Chrysanos airship, I'm guessing. Or one of the squad ones. All red. Does it have any sort of emblem of the royal family? Not that we can see. We love that shit. Pretty impressive. What's that thing you're doing here? It's here for us. Crimson airship. Who does it belong to? Not enough giant guns, of course. I think we all know who it's gonna... The shape looks familiar. It's like the white wings of Liberal. It does look like an Arcel, of course. High-speed cruiser from the Liberal. Made his triumph return to Heimdallar on, of course. So, of course, he's got himself one of them, say, of the aim. $75 arc below from boat to stern. Snug fit, but they should be able to touch down. Got a big enemy. This is going to take everyone's... Everyone is going to be... everyone at the school would be like, what the fuck is going on? It wouldn't be so chill. But my god, it's fucking massive. It's bigger than the fucking school building. Fuck me. But look at that. My guess is we're going to see Rise Arnor. Is this going to be our ship from now on? Is that meant to be the royal emblem? I'm guessing it is. This is the best. It's very pretty. The more I look at it, the more it just seems like the Arcel, except red. Crossbell Arc, it's an airship from the Empire, of course.
Salutations, my beautiful friends.
There we go.
It's only been 10 days since last we met, but I couldn't keep myself away.
The ever meddling
Prince Olivert.
Prince Oliver.
And Major Vander.
The bisexual bard himself. Glad to see you all again.
Your slack-jawed amazement says it all. It looks like this will be quite the crowd pleaser during its grand unveiling in Heimdall.
Wait, what grand unveiling?
Man, I don't even know what's going on anymore.
The prince is just here today in a sporting capacity, to say nothing of myself. The real stars of the show are the airship, and this fine gentleman we have aboard.
Who might you be referring to?
It's been quite some time. I see many familiar faces gathered here today, and several I've yet to have the pleasure of meeting.
Is this going to be Alyssa's granddad?
Is that?
I know that voice.
No. Ah. Interesting.
The Radiant Blade Master?
They've given him a ship.
Father.
They've given him a fucking
So
ship.
that's Laura's dad? Wait, who's the what now?
And look, Tobal's with him too. This isn't quite how I expected our grand reunion to go, that's for sure.
Interesting.
What are you doing up there? And what's with the hat?
Allow me to introduce you. Captain Victor S. Arciat, who will be assuming command of this ship. Why have they not given him a voice? Is what I don't understand, unless it's bitched.
So that's what this is about.
I'll fill you in on the details another time.
What in the name of Adios is that?
Patrick High Arms.
Wow, what a pretty ship.
This thing's a real piece of work.
Incredible! I've heard about the specs, but the numbers don't do it justice. Looks even better live than on paper.
It does look pretty cool. It must be said.
Principal Van Dyke, you too?
Could someone fill us in on what exactly is going on here?
Your bafflement is quite understandable. The chairman of the board proposed a change to your travel arrangements for this month's field study. He's agreed to deliver all of you to your respective destinations aboard this airship.
Interesting.
What? We'll be riding in style.
He's mainly taking it on its maiden voyage to unveil the ship to the nation. We're just kind of along for the ride.
Of course, you've got to
You'll
have
be
that.
headed to the capital first, but from there, it'll be a straight shot to Ruhr.
Interesting.
I'm not sure what to say.
This is all so sudden. I think I need to sit down.
It's a rather big thing.
Well, should we be off, Your Highness?
Yes, that sounds marvelous. With that, let me be the first to welcome you, Class 7. Aboard the second Arsail-class high-speed cruiser, the Courageous.
The Courageous. What an interesting name. I fucking hate it. Trails of Cold Steel. Yeah, I don't like that name. Could have thought of something cool. The Arsail's a cool name. This is some bullshit. Well, god damn it. Okay. We knew we were going to have... we're in a spaceship. Every JRPG's got to have its ship, you know. Second class high-speed cruiser, the Courageous. I mean, you could have called it something like Latin for courageous. No idea what the fuck that is. Corregine. Or the Lionheart. Or... I always like the one from Final Fantasy VIII, Ragnarok. But alas. It doesn't seem like we're getting that. Here we are at Matter Park. There is not enough room for me to land this here. I don't care what you're saying. Wow, look at that. The unveiling to the nation. You'll of course be pretty happy with that. Or will he? I don't know. I can't read card Regnitz, you know. I really can't. Is it we going to get General Craig here? We're just getting a view tour of Ost. Fuck you, LeBlanc. What kind of fuck you? You're such a... I don't know what to say about his character. Here we are at the Central Plaza Station. Look at it go. Wow, look at it go. Flying red ship. Claire and her boys. Not even a high-speed trains could match that, of course. We have our own strength. How's the investigation coming? Same and are true in other areas. Respond with Plan 13. Will head himself this afternoon. Interesting. Where is she going? The school. Are we going to see Elisa Sforza? St. Astria's in the Sankt district. You see the Queen. Well, the princess and Elisa Sforza.
My, what a spectacular sight! My brother told me all about it, but there's no substitute for seeing it soar through the skies. Simply beautiful. Yes, it really is.
It's certainly impressive. Go airship.
You're up there, aren't you, Rean?
We certainly are. I'm to our Valhelm Palace. Ooh. We've yet to see the king or queen's face.
Wow!
Crown Prince we've seen.
That's the Courageous. Oliver finally finished his airship.
Interesting.
It's a fine ship, isn't it? Prince Oliver seems to have gone to quite a lot of trouble having it built.
They're so blonde.
Is this the wind of change you intend to release across our staid and troubled land? Go, my son, and show me the caliber of man you can be.
Interesting. So that's the king. We've not actually met him yet, but it seems fairly obvious. And of course...
Can you believe it's been almost 2 years already? And look at how far our debaucherous prince has managed to come. Partnering with Liberl to make a second Arsail-class airship, then cruising over the capital? I suppose that's one way to stick it to you for outmaneuvering him at the trade conference.
Interesting.
Let him have his fun for now. Still, this was certainly an unexpected play on his part. He and that band of students he likes to ship across the country have proven a never-ending source of entertainment. But now, my dear Prince Oliver, we have reached a decisive point.
Interesting.
The board has been prepared, every piece in its place. Can you turn the tides in your favor? I look forward to finding out.
Because you aren't sure whether or not we're against him, because also the Liberation Front against him. Who are we meant to be rooting for, guys? It's made it difficult to know. Trails of cold steel. Okay. We do the round trip to Heimdall. We get back up. Do our thing. North Shore Province, southern edge, over the Swarsha Drake barrier. The Courageous Bridge.
It's currently 10:02, and we have a north-northwesterly wind blowing in at a speed of 11 arch. We've just passed through the Schwartz-Drake Barrier's airspace into the province of Nortia.
Current speed is 3,050 SPH. We've reached full cruising velocity.
It's pretty goddamn loud.
Maintain current course and speed. Follow the Nortia main line, maintaining a distance of 200 arch.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Good choice, though, for Captain, you've got to say. This is what the bridge of a cruiser looks like. It's kind of making my head spin. If I'm not mistaken, this ship is equipped with the Epstein Foundation's latest information processing system. You actually managed to get the Rheinford Group Zeiss Central Factory and Epstein Foundation to collaborate? Ah, I suppose I would be the most well-informed on matters of technology. You would, sorry. It took combined effort of countless supporters to take this airship from blueprint to beauty. Of course, great many people know small amount of trouble gathering the technology and funds to build it. It's nice to know even the princes have trouble financing sometimes. Alas, it's true. I had to borrow quite a sum from a number of sources, the Emperor himself among them. But my labours bore fruit. We were able to build an airship that has met all of my ideal specifications. The length of 75 arc. It's almost twice the size of the original RSL. Spawning 20 of ZSF's high-performance engine, it can achieve a top speed of, that's fucking crazy, 300,000 SPH. Not quite as fast as the other ones, but it boasts higher armor and interception capabilities. Memorize all the specs, of course she has. So the more I hear about it, the more unbelievable it sounds. Sounds like he's compensating for something. I've heard something like that was in development, but never imagined you pack this much power into it. Well, we have a rough idea of how extravagant the ship is. I don't understand, it's why my father's sitting in the captain's seat. He's not even part of the military. Unless, did you actually enlist? I understand why you're a bit perplexed. The ship isn't part of any military force, huh? Was officially registered as property of the Imperial family? Precisely. Tend to give the ship wings to a third faction of sorts, unconnected to both Imperial and Provincial armies. To that end, I can think of no finer captain than Viscount Arciot. That at least explains some of it. I see where you're getting at here. Fastest airship in the Empire, captured by the Radiant Blade Master. Couldn't ask for a stronger deterrent than that, I'd say. Well, that's my hope anyway. Half of the crew here are on loan from my division, the 7th Armored. The rest are civilians, representing a variety of nationalities and social classes. As for me, I'm here just because I'm good at gathering information. They've also tasked me with a point man for keeping in touch with the guild and its local branches. Makes sense. Tovel's definitely a good choice. He's got tact and patience to spare. Me, on the other hand, I'm more the face-punching type. I'm sure we're still here. Never how much we'd be flying in a marvelous ship with such a distinguished crew. You got me curious, though. You intending to tour the whole Empire like this? That's our plan, yes. The hope is that we might be able to assuage some of the tension that's been building across the nation. If we happen to intimidate the Imperial Liberation Front while we're at it, all the better. Indeed. Considering they got their own airship, keeping tracks of them for a while, having a ship like this in the air will definitely put even pressure on the Liberation Front. Of course it will. Allows me to kill 3 birds with 1 stone. Genius, isn't it? If I ever feel the urge to stretch my wings, it takes me to the skies whenever the mood strikes me. Perhaps one day I'll even be able to soar direct to soaring skies above Heimdall. Indeed. This speed it'll take less than an hour to reach Ra. Feel free to make yourselves at home while you're aboard. Aside from restricted areas like the engine room, you have fun around the ship. Go poke around. We're certainly going to take them up on it. Now I ended up flying to Syracusa. Didn't consider other windows, of course, since we had the captain's mission. We set about exploring the Courageous, seeing what top-of-line airship had to offer. Of course we did. It's certainly a pretty impressive ship. I'm guessing this is eventually going to become our ship. Cruising is so smooth you must feel like you're one with the wind. It's pretty big for the goddess and for him. Let's speak to these two, because this is obviously going to be an interesting thing. Honestly, you could have told me about this. apologize for the secrecy, but this project fell under the veil of strict confidentiality. Of course it did. There are many things I'm forbidden to speak of, then my daughter. I hope you realize that, of course. Class must have known. He was left in the dark. We will have a little choice but to accompany you. The purpose is to act as a deterrent in both factions, as well as the Imperial Liberation Front. It's definitely coming down the middle. They did choose wisely in naming him captain. I'm sure that's not the ship's only purpose. Able to discuss this with you properly in the Gram last month. Pretty much have grown and enrolled since the academy. Indeed. Constant slide for insights. Indeed. What is the purpose? You going to tell us? So tell me, Ree. How's she doing? Is Laura getting along with the other students? Huh? I think she's been fitting in fine. I see. It's reassuring you here. Times I worry growing up in a sword-fighting household caused her to end up less well-rounded than her peers. You and the others will continue looking out for her. Of course. I'm glad she's with us. Can't imagine Class 7 without her. Indeed. Treating her as the lady is, not abiding appropriate behavior towards my daughter. You're not the one that needs to worry, man. I think the Rhineford group's the one to worry about. Also, she can definitely hear all of this. Really does care about her. He does. Interesting. Interesting choice. Let's go have a little search around this, the Courageous, which is probably going to be the title of this episode because I'm basic as fuck. But we should have a little look around. Let's go to... Hold F1 first. Lister and Sharon, some boys. There's enough room for tanks on this ship. Jesus, that's pretty goddamn impressive. That's a lot more than the RTL. I didn't have a fucking tank that you could drop down. Let's speak to Elisa. Couldn't believe what I was hearing. Rhineford was involved in developing something on this scale. It's a collaboration. Way too much work. How many products is Mother we under her wing right now? Can't give you a simple answer to that. Safe to say the chairman only knows about a small number of projects and developments by the Rhineford. In total, they have a lot, of course. Oh, hello, Mr. Reen. Of course. Am I interrupting something? No, it's okay. Be a while longer. I don't think I've seen half of it yet. It's kind of overwhelming. It is fucking massive. It's been seeing the industrial propolis. It's not too far from my hometown, so I always want to hear about it in passing. You're from Ymir, I guess you would then. I'm guessing that's where we might end up in the last chapter of this game, but I don't know. Sure, why not? It used to be a factory town, but it grew into a hotspot for technology, sold to steel and heavy industry. It's 200,000. It's a city in the Norsha province under Marcus Rogner's jurisdiction. It felt like the whole city was man-made. Trees and grass were rare sights. So that's how a large city really is. It's basically one giant structure divided into several levels. That's interesting. It's been expanded many times. Even long-time residents occasionally wind up in places they don't recognise. Lady Elisa, when she's lost her way, of course. It was a long time ago. Looking at not so distant past. Right, North Roy is /1 mine. Iron mine from there makes its way into most of the products. There we go. The amount of ore they get from that is one different is immense. The Empire would be a different place without it, of course. Sashian mine, the vitals of the Empire, back to the Orbital Revolution. In the centre of all, you can't miss the Rhineford corporate headquarters, which is basically my house. There we go. I was hoping I wouldn't have to go back anytime soon. Take it as it comes. I'm sure some shit's going to go down in Roa. It's bound to. But this is fucking massive compared to the other one. It genuinely is. Let's head to the junction area. Elliot, Crow, and Eustace are here. Are you three working what to do for the concert? General just figured out. Would you prefer male or female vocals? That's a tough decision. Why don't we try both? That would be perfect. Of course it would be. 2 songs would be perfect for that length. This is pretty good for him to do it. He seems pretty excited. Need to have something with a degree of glass. There we go. Maybe not. The boarding gate is there, but we can't seem to go through it. What's up here? The rear deck. What have you got? I can buy shit from here, but nothing really what I need right now, but that's good to know. Man, they've got whole shops here. Not just anything else. We've got our beds. Doesn't look like we can use them for right now. Can't open this one yet. Can't open this one yet. Can I go through here? Oh, I can. Speak to these guys.
Instructor Sarah? Toval? What are you guys doing out here?
Oh, just a little bracer-to-bracer information swapping.
That's about the long and short of it. Been a while since I saw you guys, though. Not since last month in Legram.
Yeah, always nice to see a friendly face, though.
Well, despite keeping in touch with him and setting up these arrangements...
Are they in love?
It came as a surprise to me to see him on board, too.
Clearly, it was meant to be. Honestly, I was only brought on because of my connection with Viscount Arcade.
This airship really is in a class all its own, though.
It truly is.
Not every day you see a ship owned by the Imperial family and captained by the Radiant Blade Master.
This cruiser has the potential to be an important force in Erebonia going forward. Without ties to the Imperial or Provincial armies, it can potentially keep both of them in check.
And that's what Class 7 is. It's something to fuel this airship, to give it the structure and
It
power,
might not
maybe.
be able to do that quite as well as a strong guild presence could, but it'll still help protect a lot of people.
That's true. It still frustrates me how the guild used to be an institution here, and now we're just barely keeping the lights on.
It is frustrating, I agree with him.
At least the Crossbell branch sends its people over to help us out when we need a hand, though.
Wenzel's one thing, but we owe McLean so many favors, I've lost count.
There we go. That's his name.
McLean? Wait, are you talking about...
Divine Blade of the Wind.
Oh, yeah, I guess you would have heard of him. He's an A-rank bracer over at the Crossbell branch. A guy we used to work with named Wenzel works there now, too. Wait, maybe we should back it up a bit.
The guy we're talking about is Arios McLean, aka the Divine Blade of Wind. The name probably sounds familiar to you because he's also a practitioner of the 8 Leaves 1 Blade style.
He certainly is.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of. I've never met him myself, but I heard a lot about him from my master. He mastered the school's 2nd form. It sounds about as untouchable as anyone who holds the title of Divine Blade.
Well, he's pretty damn strong, I'll give you that. Bailed me out of more tough spots than I'd like to admit. Speaking of, you know who else is a student of the 8 Leaves School? Cassius Bright.
We're getting all the lore drops
We
here.
were talking about him before, remember? He's the bracer who took command during that big incident 2 years ago. Though from what I heard, he left the way of the sword behind a while back.
Cassius Bright was here in Erebonia. Wait, 2 years ago.
The incident, of course, in
It
Liberal.
was an eventful time, to put it lightly. And yeah, we have Cassius to thank for getting us past that. But afterward, well, you know the story from there. They shuttered guild branches all across the Empire, one after the other, and your dear, sweet instructor was out of a job.
Interesting.
I'd be glad to give you all the grisly details, but it's a long story. We should probably save it for another time.
We certainly should.
But hey, the guild seems to have a good track record with folks from the 8 Leaves School. Maybe you should consider a career as a bracer. Door's always open, you know?
It'd probably suit Reen the most.
Me? A bracer? Huh. I never really thought about it before.
Hey, there's enough of us singing the Bracer blues without you trying to recruit my students.
Never hurts to start them early. Seriously, though, we're always looking for more good people. If that's something you wanted to do, I wouldn't turn you down.
It's certainly something to think about.
I'll give it some thought.
Interesting. Interesting indeed. Then we have one last little scene to see. We're going to speak to...
At long last, the courageous has finally taken to the skies of Erebonia. I feel like a mother hen watching her chicks leave the nest.
I'll take your word for it.
He's got a voice
this
now.
may sound a bit forward of me to say, but it sounds like you had some hurdles getting this project together.
It was no easy ride, I'll say that.
I doubt it would have come together without the prince's unwavering dedication and tireless work. He had to find the time to raise funds and oversee the entire project, in addition to all his official duties.
Of course.
And to add to that, he had to take care of all the arrangements necessary to get Viscount Arcade installed as its captain.
All very
I can't even imagine
strong
how busy your
things.
schedule must have been. Even from a student's perspective, it sounds brutal.
Well, for this ship to have any weight as a deterrent, I needed the Viscount. Thankfully, he agreed to my request. My plan is to create a neutral third power capable of acting independently of our nation's two competing
He's
factions.
trying to create another Bracer
You can
Guild.
think of the Courageous as the first physical embodiment of that ideal.
A third party, huh? I feel like I'm starting to understand at least part of what it is you're trying to accomplish.
The road will be a difficult one, though.
True, but this is only the beginning. Seeing this ship soar through the clouds for the first time moves my heart. Just as when Class 7 was formally established. I look
Interesting.
forward to seeing what the future holds for the courageous. And for the brave men and women of your class.
That's what he's
Your
recruiting
Highness,
us for.
We live in interesting times. The political situation across the Empire seems to grow more ominous by the day. But, with any luck, making a real show out of this ship's launch will push back against the prevailing climate.
Well, that's the hope at least. Either way, you'll have your whole life to split hairs about politics. For now, give your attention to your field study.
Thank you. I know you have high expectations for us, and I hope we'll be able to meet them.
We certainly will be able to meet them.
Attention all crew members and passengers. We will soon be entering Ruhr airspace.
And
Please prepare
wow.
for landing. And make sure you have all personal effects with you before disembarking.
Got to make stuff. All the
Sounds like
stuff's
we're
done.
almost there. That was a shorter flight than I'd expected.
We
Guess
got the
I better
jet.
go round up the others and start getting ready.
I mean, look how fast that is. As we're going to, look, the Ymir is not that far away.
Ruhr Airport's granted us permission to land.
Commence landing preparations and keep the engine warm. We'll be taking off again right after our guests have disembarked.
Aye, aye, Captain. Preparing the Courageous to land.
Got 3 days to meal study. Make them count, guys. Plan on it. Do it best we can, of course. Carefully in all this. Sounds like things could get dangerous. They'll be fine, of course. We've got Fee, Crow, Elliot. Yeah, cool. I know who we got now. Take care and Rower too. We certainly will do. Straight to festival prep. The true terror planning by a committee. Indeed. Save at least a bit of strength. It's a shame to come back to hide. Think we can find the energy. All the reason to remain safe and sound. Indeed. Spirited joys of youth. I'm sure both your field studies at the Academy Festival will prove you valuable experiences for you all. Certainly will. Work hard out there, not too hard. So here we're going to make it to Roa, which sounds like a pretty industrial city. I mean, that's stone right there. I was expecting something a little bit more punky. Or a little bit more... Courageous turned down in a massive airport. We parted ways. It would save no time in taking the skies again, ferrying the others to Ordis. Rose was amazing in every direction, but Sharon guided to the Rhinefeld's corporate headquarters without missing a step. Of course she did. Is Arena going to be here? That is the question. Is Arena going to be here? This tunnel goes on forever. I guess when you're built with tons of iron and concrete, everything starts to look similar. Indeed, we're not from a city centre now. You might want to brace yourselves. Rome is even weirder layout than the capital, of course. It's my hometown you're talking about, but I can't deny it's true. Of course. Suddenly a light turned on. Looks like we're finally out. What's it going to look like? I'm curious. Is there trees? RF ordnance for all. Kind of looks like Midgar. It's giving you all the Final Fantasy references here. As there is the Rhineford group. Roa, the industrial metropolis. Metropolis. Is that right? It's pretty goddamn big. It's all one building as well. It extends above and below. It certainly does. Grew up around steel fabrication and heavy industry. It's the Empire's industrial metropolis. It is weird. 200,000 people too. It's just as big as the capital of a smaller country. And there's the Institute. Rhineford corporate headquarters in the upper level, of course. You need to visit the ones up in the Thana. You're going to be...
Allow me to welcome you to Ruhr, home of the Rhineford Company.
We certainly are.
I sincerely hope that your field study here will be a fulfilling one.
I'm sure it will be. But I think this is a good place to say. If you've enjoyed this, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time in Trails of Cold Steel. Peace.